Good morning, class. Welcome back to the online classes for physics for class 12. In the previous three sessions, we have seen that we have started the chapter magnetism and the matter. We have already seen that what the magnetic materials were and what are some properties for the magnetism. We have seen that the axial position and that equatorial position and some parameters like magnetic permeability, susceptibility, right? And what was the magnetizing intensity, magnetizing field. So all these values we have already seen. Here we are going to see the next topic, that is the classification of the materials, right? And we will be seeing that how these magnetic materials are classified under and which property, and we can differentiate them also regarding some points. So let's start the class. Here we will be classifying the magnetic materials. What the magnetic materials are that can be easily magnetized by the magnetic field, right? Magnetic materials are the materials which are easily can be magnetized to the normal magnetic field. So some materials are also there which can easily attract or can get into the magnetic field, which can influence its magnetic field, and some are there that we have to provide some external magnetic field to get them to influence to the magnetic field. Similarly, and some are there which never used to get influenced by the magnetic, which are not of magnetic materials. So that they have some behaviors in the magnetic field that they will easily be magnetized, or they take time to magnetize, or they never get magnetized to the magnetic field. So on basis of it, we can say that the magnetic materials can be classified, and these are classified into three categories. So person who categorized it was the Faraday. So again you will be reading his name in the electromagnetic induction also, that Faraday's law. Here Faraday had classified these magnetic materials into three categories. First one is diamagnetic substance, second one is a paramagnetic substance, and third one that is a ferromagnetic substance. We will be seeing that what the laws that they follow. Firstly, diamagnetic substance. These are the substance that produces a very small magnetic field, that is they are very low magnetization to the magnetic field, that too in the opposite magnetic field, because if we take that magnetic field, then can it easily be magnetized, right? Any magnetic material can easily be magnetized, and if we put it in the opposite direction, then also they have some more magnetization than that before condition, because if they are kept in the opposite direction, there will be some low magnetization, but they will be showing the magnetization in the magnetic field. But if we take this in the opposite direction, then also they are showing a low magnetization to that field. These are said to be the diamagnetic substance. So we can say that the diamagnetic substance are the substance which are getting a low magnetization in the opposite direction to that of the magnetizing field. And such substance, we can say that they are in the opposite direction, and then also they are having very feeble magnetization or the low magnetization. So they are mostly repelled by the magnet, right? They are mostly repelled by the magnet, because in the opposite direction also they are not showing any magnetization. So what they used to do, they try to move or tends to move from a stronger part to that of the weaker part of the magnetic field, because they are not repelled by because they are not getting influenced by the magnetic field. So what they will do, they will try to move away from that magnetic field and will be moving to the weaker part of that magnetic field, because they are getting repelled by that of the magnetic field, right? Repelling by the magnets. So these are the diamagnetic substance which shows the low magnetization in the opposite to direction to that of the magnetic field, and these are repelled by the magnet, and they try to move from the stronger part of the magnetic field to that of the weaker part. For example, water, sodium chloride, lead, bismuth, copper, and nitrogen N2 at standard temperature pressure. So these are the some chemicals or the materials which are here. Elements are also there and compound is also there. So together we can say the materials which will be showing this feeble magnetization in the opposite direction of the magnetic field is said to be the diamagnetic substance. And why this happens? Because this shows that the net dipole moment that is produced over there, it will be zero. We will be seeing later that what it happens. They will cancel each other, so that moment cannot be formed here. So they are feeble magnetization in the opposite direction to that of the magnetic field. Now we will be studying about the next one, that is the paramagnetic substance. They are the magnetic substance which will be showing the low magnetization. In the diamagnetism also we have read that they also show the low magnetization, but here they will be showing the less magnetization but in the direction of the magnetizing field. That is, if they are kept near the magnet, that in the direction of the magnetizing field they will be magnetized. That is, in the direction of the magnetizing field they will be magnetized and they will be producing a low magnetic field, but they will be producing low magnetizing field. So this is what the paramagnetic substances. We have said that in the diamagnetic substance they get repelled by the magnet because they don't show any magnetizing field or the low magnetizing field in the opposite direction, but here it is showing the magnetization in the field, but they are showing the low magnetization in the magnetic field in that direction itself. So this substance is said to be the paramagnetic, but we can say that they in the direction itself they are magnetizing but showing the low magnetization, so they will be attracted, but they can be less attracted, not easily they can be attracted by the magnet, but they will be less attracted by the magnet and they're tending themselves to move from the weaker part of the magnetic field to that of the stronger part. So they're trying to move towards the stronger part. So we can say that they are tends to moving, because in the diamagnetic we have learned that they are repelling. So they are moving from the stronger to the weaker part, but now they are slowly they are attracting towards the magnet, so their feeble magnetic field's attraction is here. So we can say that these particles are just moving slowly from the weaker to that of the stronger part of the magnetic field. Okay, for example, aluminium, chromium, sodium. Okay, so this is what the elements and the compounds type which can show the paramagnetic behavior. That is, they can move in the magnetic field itself, but they will show the less magnetization in the direction of the magnetic field. Similarly, the next one, that is a ferromagnetic substance. This we have already learned that they both are showing the low magnetization. Diamagnetic was showing the low magnetization but in the opposite direction to that of the magnetizing field. And if you talk about the paramagnetic substance, they will be showing the less magnetization but in that direction of the magnetic field. And if we talk about the ferromagnetic substance, then we can say that they will be showing the strong magnetization, that too in the direction of the magnetizing field. That was a low magnetization in the direction of the magnetic field, paramagnetic substance. But what they try to attract towards the magnet very slowly, but here it's showing the strong magnetization in the direction of the magnetic field, so they will be attracted very fastly or strongly, they will be attracted by the magnet, and they tries to tends from weaker to the stronger part but very fast. And the paramagnetic, they will be easily moving from the weaker to that of the stronger part of the magnetic field. And if you talk about the diamagnetism, then they tend to move from the stronger part to that of the weaker part of the magnetic field. Okay, so what are the examples? We know that the iron is the best ferromagnetic substance which get easily attracted by that of the magnetism, and they are show the strong magnetization in the direction of the magnetic field, right? So we can say that these are the ferromagnetic substance, and for some of them examples are cobalt, iron, nickel, and many of the alloys are also there. Alnico also, that is one of the kind of the alloy itself. Okay, so this was the substance which can be classified due to their behavior. Now we will be saying that how this diamagnetism substance or the paramagnetic substance have been. So here you can see the question to explain the origin of the diamagnetism and why they repel the magnet. Now we will be seeing that we know that in the opposite direction to that of the magnetic field or the magnetizing field also, they develop a small or the low magnetization. So what does mean? That they are repelled by the magnet. Now if we take an example, you can see here the diagram also, that we know that there is a dense positive charge in between the atom, that around which the electrons used to move in their orbits. So what these electrons used to, they start rotating in their path and they used to revolve around the nucleus also. So here in the figure you can see, because it is rotating and revolving, so they will be having the angular velocity, angular acceleration, and they will be showing the rotational motion also. So that's why it is showing the omega, that is the angular velocity. Now just see the figure, that is A and B. You can see that the electrons revolving around the nucleus, right? And they are M, that is showing the electrons mass. So electrons, we know that they will be placed think that there is no magnetic field now, so they will be trying to move itself, so they will be rotating around the axis, right? So what they are trying to, they are moving, right, with the angular velocity. Once the mass is acting in the downward direction, once the mass is acting in the upward direction. So one is the clockwise direction, other one is the anti-clockwise direction. They have the both spins, right? S is equals to plus half and minus half. We have read this in the quantum number also. So this shows the spin of the electron, that is clockwise or the anti-clockwise. So electrons, what they are trying to rotate. But we know that in some kind of elements or the materials, these moments, that is a magnetic moment, we know that any dipoles which will be separated by the distance 2L, then this pole strength, any of the poles, that is Qm, multiplied to that of the distance between them, then it is said to be the pole strength, or that gives the dipole moment. So this moment have the magnetic moment in the electrons also, okay. But we can say that this magnetic moments of these will be acting in one direction and the other will be acting in a different direction. So they both will be acting in the opposite direction, due to which they cancel each other. So we can say the net magnetic moment in this materials will be 0. So we can say that the electrons occur in the pair. We know that when we used to take some materials, we used to show them with the arrows, right? We used to show them like this, that they have the pair of electrons, and this, what this arrow is showing, that they are moving in the different spins, that is one is moving with the clockwise and the other will be moving with the anti-clockwise direction, that is they are moving with a pair. So we can say that these electrons are in the pair which will be moving in the clockwise direction, as well as they will be revolving in the anti-clockwise direction, but they will be moving around the nucleus itself. So they are just having the different direction. So their magnetic moment, the resultant magnetic moment or the net magnetic moment will be 0. Okay. Now we'll be seeing the next figure, that this electron is moving around the nucleus and the mass is acting downward direction, but here the magnetic field is given. So we can say that whenever the atom or the electron is placed to be in the magnetic field B, then the electron speed, you can say that the how it is revolving, the angular velocity will be changing, that it can increases and it may decrease also. So what this will do, that is they are having the two pair of electrons, right? One is with the one spin, that is clockwise, and the other one will be having different spin, that is the anti-clockwise. So one will be trying to move in the one direction, the other will be trying to move in the anti-clockwise direction. So what we can say, that the magnetic moment of this both will be trying to balance each other. So the one of the magnetic moment will be increasing and the other magnetic moment will be decreasing. So the mass or the magnetic moment, sorry, that is the magnetic moment, I told it to the mass, okay, sorry. So it is magnetic moment m. So this magnetic moment of the former electron, that is the first one, what it will be, that it will be increasing. So we can say that in the pair of the electron, any one of the electrons magnetic moment will be increasing and the other magnetic moment will be decreasing. Okay. So what we can say, that the magnetic moment of one pair will be increasing and the other pair of electron will have the less magnetic moment, we can say. So if we have the net force, so the one of them will pair a magnetic moment, right? One of the pair will be gaining the magnetic moment, and we know that the net magnetic moment of this diamagnetic substance will be 0, right? So think of it that if some of that will be decreasing, it will be given by m minus del m, that is magnetic moment is increasing, then it will be given by m plus del m. So small magnetic moment is increasing with it, so it is given by m plus del m and m minus del m. And the speed is also decreasing because its magnetic moment is decreasing, so its speed will be also increasing. That one pair will be increasing its speed and the other pair will be decreasing. So one here it is written as v minus del v and the other one is given as v plus del v. Okay. So each electron will try to pair a net magnetic moment, and this magnetic moment is due to the magnetic field that is given in the external magnetic field. Similarly, you can see that in the C and the D diagram, this is due to the magnetic field itself, that is provided by the external agent. So the magnetic moment induced in this diamagnetic substance are in the opposite direction of that of the magnetic field. They are getting induced but in the opposite direction to that of the magnetic field. So we can say that they will try to move from the stronger part to that of the weaker part of the magnetic field because they are repelling. So they will be moving away from that of the magnetic field stronger part. So that is why they are repelled by the magnet. So this behavior magnetic material is just independent of temperature. That is, if we provide the temperature also, then also we can't make it tend towards the magnetic field. They will be repelled by the magnetic field. Okay. Now if we talk about the paramagnetic material, so we will be talking about the paramagnetic material, that is how they get origin. So we have seen that what the diamagnetic substance was, that is get repelled by the magnetic field, they move in the direction opposite to that of the magnetic field, and they show the low magnetization in the opposite direction of the magnetic field. So we have seen that they used to have the net magnetic moment, as one will be increasing its velocity, other one will be decreasing, and the moment will also be increase and decrease, but they are acting in the opposite to that of the magnetic field, so the magnetic field will cancel each other. So this is what the paramagnetic substance as a diamagnetic substance were. So here we are going to see the paramagnetic substance. That paramagnetic substance are the substance which will be showing the low magnetization in the direction of the magnetic field. So it will be acting in the direction, so they will be having some attraction. They will be showing the attractive property in the direction of the magnetic field. We have already learned the magnetic moment, that is due to the pole strength and the distance between that two poles. So it is said as a magnetic moment. So this magnetic material will show the permanent magnetic moment. Here the diamagnetic will not show that the permanent magnetic moment. So this paramagnetic substance will show the permanent magnetic moment. And this is due to that in the diamagnetic substance we have seen the example of copper, right? Bismuth, copper, lead, zinc, there are many examples, but if you take that bismuth, copper, anything, they are having a paired electrons in the orbit, right? They are having the paired electrons, so one will have a different velocity, other one will have the different velocity. But if you talk about the paramagnetism, for example, what the paramagnetic substance we have taken, that is aluminium or manganese, like they are having 13 electrons, so they will be having the pair, but one will be remaining in the unpaired electrons. So due to this this unpaired electrons cannot have the different spins. Okay, so what they will do, so they will have some unpaired electrons, due to which there will be no cancellations of the magnetic field, right? There will be no cancellation of these two spins in the magnetic fields. So due to this if we take that in the absence of the magnetic field, what these dipoles used to, that is this atomic dipoles are, see here that they are randomly in any direction, right? Randomly distributed. So what this used to be do, they move in the different directions. And when we give in the external magnetic field, see in the second figure that when we are providing the external magnetic field, so they are moving in the direction of the magnetic field. See the direction of the B0, that is B0 magnetic field, and along with that dipoles also, atomic dipoles also are setting them or tending them to move in the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, so this is due to, this is in the presence of the magnetic field, this is in the absence of the magnetic field, that is the distribution of the atomic dipoles. Okay, so they are randomly in the absence of the magnetic field, and they just try to set themselves in the direction of the magnetic field when the external magnetic field is applied. So now when the B was applied, we can see that the magnetic dipoles, that is the atomic dipoles, they used to move towards the magnetic field, in the direction of the magnetic field. So here we can say that the temperature is too low, right? It is too low because strong field is already applied, that is magnetic field, so no need of the temperature. And in that one, that is in the diamagnetic substance, it was independent of the temperature, because in the magnetic field, in the normal magnetic field also, it is not showing the magnetization as moving or repelled from away from that of the magnet, so there is no need of the temperature. But here it is moving in the magnetic field, so without or in the less temperature also, they are showing or aligning themselves in the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, so now where they are moving from a weak field to that of the strong field of the magnet, and this type of materials which are showing this property are said to be the paramagnetic materials, and this property is said to be the paramagnetism. Okay, so what we can say, that at a very high magnetic field, when it is given as an external agent and very low temperature, then the magnetization reaches to its maximum value when all the dipole moments get aligned in the direction of the magnetic field. So no temperature is required here. So at the low temperature also, what this atomic dipoles are doing, trying to move it in the, or tends to move in the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, So this is called the saturation of the magnetization. That is saturation of the magnetization because they are trying to move in the direction of the magnetic field. So getting easily magnetized but showing a low magnetization in the direction, but okay. So after this paramagnetism, we will sing a small description about this Curie's law. That what this Curie's law is. Here we can say that the magnetic moment in this paramagnetic material, which are of atomic dipoles moving in the random direction, but if the external magnetic field, that is high magnetic field, is applied to this field, then what they are doing, they try to move in the direction of the magnetic field, that is they are trying to move in the magnetic field itself. So they will be directly proportional to that of the magnetizing field, that is H, right? What the H shows us, that is magnetizing intensity or a magnetic field intensity, right? So what it means, that is the ability of that magnetizing field to magnetize that material that we are taking, because here we are taking the paramagnetic material, so ability to magnetize this material will be taken as the magnetizing field intensity. So H is taken, so it is directly proportional, because whether it is magnetized by that field or not. So what they are trying to, so they are trying to align themselves in the direction of the magnetic field. So the atomic dipoles which were in the random condition, they try to align themselves. Similarly, they are inversely proportional to the temperature, because we know that when we apply the temperature, they will try to oppose that magnetic field now. So there will be some changes in the direction of the atomic dipole movement. So there should be a low temperature but a high magnetic field. So in the high magnetic field we can say, and the low temperature, so it is directly proportional to the magnetizing field intensity and inversely proportional to the temperature. And to changing this proportional sign into equal, we can say that the constant come, which is the Curie constant, which was given by the Curie, that's why it is named as a Curie's constant. From here we can find out the value of the C also, that is M upon H, and that is C upon T, where T is the temperature, H is the magnetizing field intensity, M is the magnetic moment of that paramagnetic material. So we know that is M upon H, what it is given by, that is magnetizing field intensity and the magnetic moment. So this ratio is given for the susceptibility, right? Susceptibility can tells us the ability to take up the magnetization when it is placed in the magnetic field, you can say. So what is the ability of substance to take up the magnetization? That is the susceptibility, which is given by chi. So here we can write the M upon H as chi M, magnetic susceptibility, so it is written as C upon T. Okay, so what this law tells us from this formula, that that the susceptibility chi M is just inversely proportional to that of the temperature and directly proportional to that of the Curie's constant. So we are not talking about the constant, but from there, if we take out the C's value, then it is inversely proportional to that of the temperature. So just on increasing the temperature, what you can say, that is magnetized slowly. So you can see the graph between the H upon T, that is M, that is magnetic moment, and the magnetizing field with respect to that of the temperature. Okay, so it is magnetic moment and the Curie. So what we can say, that at some point where it is going to show that atomic dipoles are aligning themselves in the magnetic field is said to be the saturation region. So at the low temperature or the Curie's law region, where the temperature is too less, at that time there is no aligning. So as they get, or the slowly the temperature is increasing, at that time they are just aligning themselves in the direction of the magnetic field. So the magnetic moment is very high at that time due to the high magnetic field, but the temperature is low, but with some negligible increase in the temperature, they can just align themselves in the direction of the magnetic field. So this is what the graph has shown here, that is the intensity of the magnetization, and the H upon T, that is Curie law, is not valid here, right? Because we know that on increasing the temperature, the particles are getting into the saturation region, but we know that in the less temperature also they will be getting in the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, so now we will be seeing that the ferromagnetic materials, here we have seen that they will be showing a strong magnetization in the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, So this is given by the Weiss also. So this Weiss theory also comes in this ferromagnetic substance. So Weiss first person to give this about the ferromagnetic substance. We have seen that the iron was a ferromagnetic substance that get easily attracted and get moves in the direction of the magnetic field, and they move from weaker to the stronger one, right? So what they used to, that materials are associated with a large magnetic moment. They are having large magnetic moment. Okay. So what they used to, that they are used to align themselves in the common direction. Okay, they are trying to align themselves in the common direction without any external field also, or giving without any temperature. And this aligning of microscopic regions are said to be the domains. And what these domains are used to be showed with the arrows itself, right? They are shown with the arrows. So each domain of this magnetic moment of the ferromagnetic substance will be larger, right? So the domain will possess strong magnetic moment, and if there is no external field, then this are randomly distributed and the net magnetic moment will be 0. So we can say that at the less temperature they will be behaving as a diamagnetic. But if you take that the high temperature is given and the less magnetic field also, then also what they will do, they will try to align themselves in the direction of the magnetic field. So let us consider that this ferromagnetic material is just placed in the magnetic field, and what the domains will be trying to, they will be aligning themselves in the direction of the field, and they will be trying to move from the stronger field, that is the weaker part of the magnetic field, to that of the stronger part of the magnetic field. So that is why we can say that the ferromagnetic substances are showing the high magnetizing field due to this magnetic field, high magnetizing field due to this magnetism. Similarly, they are get attracted by the magnet easily. So this alignment can be understood as well as that by the displacement of the boundaries of the domains, because when the external field is weak, the domains align themselves in the direction of the B. But as the size will be changing, that is the direction of the B is trying to move in the direction of the this domain itself. So what they will be trying to, they will be trying to decrease in the size, right? These domains will be trying to decrease themselves. So by the rotation of the domains also, that is when the external magnetic field is strong, the domains try to rotate there till that the magnetic moment get aligned in the direction of the magnetic field. So they try to rotate themselves so that they can get in the direction of the magnetic field, right? So when the magnetic field is not there, you can see here that they are aligned themselves randomly, but as you gave them the magnetic field, so you can say the domains are growing themselves in the different directions. So they are moving from one direction to the other. So again, if the strong magnetic field is there, then they try to rotate and try to make themselves in the direction of the magnetic field, right? So here you can say that the temperature at which the ferromagnetic substance try to become as the paramagnetic substance, then their temperature will be said as the Curie temperature. Okay, Curie's law we have already seen. Here the Weiss law, that is he told about the Weiss law, WEISS. Okay, so this Weiss law was given for the ferromagnetic substance. So here if you see, then when the ferromagnetic substance is given at the high temperature, that temperature the domain structure will try to disintegrate themselves. So at that time they will be becoming a paramagnetic substance itself. So we can say that the temperature when this ferromagnetic, the high temperature at which this ferromagnetic substance will try to become or try to align themselves as in the opposite direction or in the direction of the magnetic field, but will be showing a less magnetizing intensity. So that is temperature at which they will be trying to align themselves in the direction of the magnetic field, but with a less magnetization. Then it is said to be the Curie's temperature. That is Curie's point where the temperature is the highest and trying to make that ferromagnetic material into the paramagnetic material. And we have seen that chi m, that is susceptibility, was seen that it is inversely proportional to the temperature, that is C upon T. And if we talk that there varies in the temperature, that the susceptibility can be given as T minus Tc. That at a Curie temperature, if we take it out, then the temperature will be given for the ferromagnetic substance. Okay. So from here it is given for the ferromagnetic substance as well as for the paramagnetic. So together this law is said to the Curie-Weiss law. Okay. So this law, what does say, that it is inversely proportional to the excess of the temperature, and that temperature should not extend than the Curie temperature. Okay. So in the next class we will be seeing the properties also and the difference between these materials. we will be seeing in the next class. There is the properties, how they just try to align themselves in the magnetic field. What are the properties? How can we just identify that there's a paramagnetic, diamagnetic, or the ferromagnetic substance? You will be seeing some more also are there for the higher classes, that is anti-ferrimagnetism and ferrimagnetic materials are also there. So it's just seeing the description because no need to learn it properly because in 12th they are not in the syllabus. Okay, so thank you class.